Hello everyone and welcome to the final episode of this remarkable year. We are going to have a look at my finished builds of year 2020 and I will talk a little bit about what is happening on this channel and what you can look forward to next year. So the first finished build this year was the Hasegawa Shooting Star in 1/72 scale. This was purely a mojo restoring affair, and I did it like a sort of in-between builds. I simply grabbed something from the stash that I thought looked fun to build and paint. Well, it turned out that it was actually quite a lot of job with this kit. The fit was really bad, but on the bright side though, those issues were quite easy to fix, so it was a little bit of work, but it wasn't really anything difficult that I had to do. So it was serving its purpose as a mojo restoring build, for sure. Since this was quite an old kit, I had my doubts about the decals, but in the end it turned out to work just fine. So I guess that cartograph decals are still good after 15 years. And another thing was that I did a really bad mistake with the paint job, but I think I covered that quite well. So I'm quite pleased with the build anyway. Okay, next one is the Harrier FA2. This was the big build of the year, and I started this in 2019 as part of the winter hover SIG on ISM. It took me a lot of time and effort to finish this, and I had it on and off the bench for 9 months, and I was seriously considering to bin it a couple of times. This was actually one of the first 1/48 scale aircraft kits that I bought since I got back to the hobby. And I thought that the Harrier is such an epic aircraft, and I wanted to build one. But I bought some aftermarket for it, and I put it in the stash for a couple of years. So when the winter hover SIG on ISM turned up, I thought that this was the perfect subject to build. The funny thing is that I've heard so many mixed opinions about the kit over the years. On one hand, there's beautiful kit, went together without any problem. And on the other side, we have pig of a kit, fought me all the way over the finishing line. And for me, I think the experience was the later one. I have been thinking a lot about this actually, and I think in retrospect I would say that some of the issues were actually caused by the aftermarket, the photo etch and things like that I put in the cockpit. it sort of created fit issues, and those propagated through the whole build. But there were also a lot of poor engineering solutions and fit issues that couldn't be blamed on the builder. But anyway, it's built and finished, and I'm reasonably happy with the result. It turned out much better than I thought it would. Okay, so the Tornado IDS in 144 scale was a really fun build. That was actually part of a group build in my IPMS. And I wanted to do something different this time, so I added a 3D printed MW1 and I built it gear up. And that means that I had to make a couple of small pilots from modeling clay and paint them. And that was also quite fun. Yeah, I really enjoyed this build, and I decided to go for the Norm 83 camo scheme. I also found the Tornado logo online, and I decided to make a 3D printed base shaped like the letter N in the logo. And I printed it on my new Prusa Mini. And I also did a couple of projects that was not directly model builds. It's more like they were related to scale modeling, but more like tools. And the first one was the UV curing station, which I built for my Anycubic Photon, my resin printer. And this was actually the first time I did a complex mechanical design in Fusion 360, so this was a lot of new things to learn. And I probably made all the rookie mistakes possible, but and invented a couple of new ones myself. But I got it together, so I was able to 3D print everything. I also did some electronics design and also a control software for the Arduino that is on the PCB. And I actually had a really hard time to figure out why the display froze and the software didn't work. But that was caused by spurious noise generated by the DC motor. So, but when I got that sort of tracked down, then I could make some adjustments and filter the electronics a little bit better, and after that the problems disappeared. And so this is something that is available on Thingiverse, and if you haven't checked out my build video on that project, I recommend that you do that. This is a tool that I have used a lot. Basically every time I 3D print something and I need to cure it, I use this tool. So it's been a really good help for me to have that. The second tool project was the heated decal bath. And this was actually something that I have been thinking about for a long time to build. I tried using a simple USB cup warmer, and I didn't think that it worked so well. And but the worst thing was that it actually fried one USB port on my computer, so I had to bin that. And that's when I decided that I will build one myself. In this project I decided to make my own PCB, and that was really fun. And I'm truly amazed how well these open source software works, and how easy they are to understand and to get into. So I will definitely do this again. So, what will happen in 2021? Pretty much same as 2020, I think. I will continue with my tips and tricks videos, and where I try to explore and explain different techniques, and I have a couple of videos in the pipeline for my silhouette portrait cutting machine that I will publish during 2021. I will also continue with my ongoing build updates, and I will try to do them at least every other month, but the goal is to make one every month. But it depends a little bit on how much activity there is on the workbench. And I will of course continue to buy kits, so there will also be stash updates. I will of course continue to make inbox reviews as well. So if there is a kit that I have bought that I find especially interesting, then I will do an inbox review of it. And I will continue to make things. I won't turn this channel into a maker channel, but if there is something that is related to scale modeling, then I find it interesting to make some content out of that. And I haven't forgot about my Voyager build series. I will continue with that. And I have a couple of ideas of other build series that I will start in 2021. Okay, so I wish you a great end of 2020 and a happy new 2021. Thank you for watching.